Hello, fine folks. How's your day? I hope you all are doing absolutely fine. Today, we're diving into some juicy Am I the A-hole stories that will make you question who's in the wrong and who's just misunderstood. Sit back, relax, and let's unravel some wild Reddit drama together. Don't forget to let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. Now, let's jump into our first story.
Am I the a-hole for accidentally ruining my autistic boyfriend's safe food? My boyfriend loves stew. He wants to eat it every day, for every meal. His favorite stew is beef tips and vegetables from a local place, but it's really expensive. Like $47 for a big bowl. They don't do small orders for takeout. And he is grossed out by leftovers, so more than half of it gets wasted. We've had a couple of arguments about it. He says I don't understand his brain. I say he doesn't understand our budget. Recently, I looked up some recipes, including doing a dissection of the takeout soup, and tried my hand at making a home-cooked replacement for stew night. He loved it for a few days, and then one night he was hanging out with me in the kitchen and saw me put tomato paste into the pot. He was really upset and demanded that I make the soup without the paste. I told him it wouldn't taste the same, and he said it would be better because he hates tomatoes. They're not a safe food for him. So I made the soup with no tomato paste, and big surprise, something felt off about it to him. Instead of admitting that the tomato paste was necessary, he threw a fit and told me he didn't want home-cooked food anymore if I was going to play with him and not take his safe food seriously. He thinks I changed more than just the tomato paste in an effort to get him to admit he was wrong. $400 in stew orders later, I had an idea to ask the chef when we were picking up the order if there was any tomato products in the stew, and lo and behold, there is tomato in the recipe, freaking tomato paste. In my mind, this was great, because I thought he would get over it if he knew his original perfect stew had tomato paste like, oh, I guess tomato paste isn't so bad then, but it was the exact opposite. He walked out of the restaurant without saying anything and then refused to eat the stew that night and hasn't ordered it again, and he's been ignoring me while sulking around the house, using his whiny voice a lot and slamming things. His sister also texted me to tell me I'm a selfish a-hole for needing to get back at him by taking his favorite food away. I literally just wanted to stop spending insane amounts of money on stew. I wasn't trying to hurt him or ruin his life. I'm not autistic. I can't really wrap my head around caring this much about a single ingredient. I genuinely didn't see this reaction coming. We've been together for 4 years, and he's only had 3 other fits like this. The other ones were pretty reasonable. Those were also a little less intense and didn't include input from his family. This is the first time anyone in his family has ever spoke to me like this. So I've been back and forth between y'all are overreacting and what have I done? Am I the a-hole? It sounds so dumb when I write it all out, but living it has made me feel physically sick with regret. I can't think straight anymore.
It's clear you had good intentions trying to recreate your boyfriend's favorite stew to save money. But this situation highlights the deep emotional connection he has with his safe foods due to his autism. While his reaction and his family's involvement feel extreme, it's important to remember that safe foods can be non-negotiable for some people with sensory sensitivities. However, relationships require compromise, and your efforts to balance his needs with financial reality weren't meant to hurt him. A calm, understanding conversation could help bridge the gap. But no, you're not the a-hole for trying to find a solution.
Am I the a-hole for getting my dog fixed without wife's permission? Background: I, 38M, have grown up having pets at home since I was a kid. I love pets. Cats, dogs, whatever. My wife, 36F, is an only child and never had a pet before. Had no idea how much work is involved. So she comes to me one day and says she wants a dog. She is easily influenced by friends or coworkers and sometimes gets ideas in her head and acts irrationally on it. I tried explaining how much work is involved and she agrees she will take care of the dog. She is often in multiple group chats online and joined one about Japanese Akitas after watching the movie Hachi, A Dog's Tale. I suggested a smaller breed dog as her first pet to make it easier because Akitas are known to have strong personalities and be more for experienced dog owners. I work construction and have long hours between March to December. Then I have a couple months off. We get the dog in December as a puppy. We take him to dog parks and he socializes well. Then COVID hits and he grows full size with little interaction with other dogs. When I walk him, he constantly pulls towards other dogs, and when he gets close, if he feels even a little challenged, he turns aggressive. To the point when I walk him, I let other dog owners know he is not dog-friendly. Cross the street when seeing another dog, etc. My wife never walks him because he is a large breed dog and she can't handle if he pulls. I have taken him to obedience training and he walks great aside from when he sees another dog. I talked to her about getting him fixed to reduce the testosterones, etc. She refused because she wanted to try breeding him. We waited until he was almost 2 years old. We tried breeding, which was a lot of extra work on my part. She basically just met up with the people and I had the female dog dropped in my lap for a week to look after as well as our own dog. The breeding didn't go well and the female dog didn't make it. We let the other family keep the 2 puppies that made it. I revisit the idea of having ours fixed and she refuses because she wants to breed him again. At this point I love my dog but I don't want the extra work involved in breeding, so I had him fixed. She is upset because I didn't listen to her. I explained how I have basically been taking care of him by myself because she always has an excuse to not walk him, etc. It's been a couple months now and she is still upset about it. I walk him and he doesn't pull towards other dogs, and when we get close he is not aggressive and just smells them. Am I the a-hole for fixing him after attempting to breed him like she wanted?
You're dealing with a tricky situation here. On one hand, your wife wanted to keep the dog intact for breeding. But on the other, the dog's behavior and the extra responsibility fell entirely on you. It sounds like you made the decision to get him fixed after trying her way and seeing how much work and stress it added to your life. The fact that the dog is now calmer and less aggressive suggests it was the right call for his well-being. While it's understandable that your wife is upset, especially since you made the decision unilaterally, her lack of involvement in the dog's care undermines her stance. Clearer communication and shared responsibility could have helped, but in the end, you prioritized what was best for the dog in your household. It doesn't make you the a-hole. It makes you a responsible pet owner trying to manage a difficult situation.
Am I the a-hole for telling my brother I'm not babysitting his kids anymore after they ruined my New Year's plans? Whenever my brother, 27M, needs help, I take care of his 2 kids, 4F and 6M. Even though I love my niece and nephew, New Year's Eve was the last blow for me. My brother and his wife asked me to watch their kids while they went to a fancy New Year's party. Friends begged me to go with them, even though I already had plans with other people. They said they couldn't find anyone else. It was even an offer to pay me twice what I normally get, so I reluctantly agreed. They were supposed to come back at 1 a.m., so I could still hang out with my friends late at night. However, they did not show up at midnight. I texted, called, and even tried calling the party location, but no one answered. They finally got in around 4 a.m., and it was clear they were drunk. They pretended it wasn't a big deal. My brother laughed when I told him how upset I was that they had left me all night and said, "You didn't have anything important going on anyway." That hurt a lot. I told him they could no longer have me watch if they couldn't respect my plans or time. It's making my brother mad, and he says I'm being too tough. Am I the a-hole because she wouldn't watch after this?
It sounds like you've been incredibly generous with your time, stepping in to help your brother and his wife with their kids. However, their actions on New Year's Eve, leaving you stranded well past the agreed time and dismissing your feelings, were deeply disrespectful. You're not an a-hole for setting boundaries and standing up for yourself. If they can't respect your time and efforts, it's perfectly reasonable to stop babysitting until they show you the consideration you deserve.
Am I the a-hole for not letting my sister wear my favorite dress on her date? 19F. Have this dress that I love so much. I had been saving money for months to buy this deep green satin slip dress. There's nothing fancy about it, but it's important to me because I wore it to a school formal and finally felt good about myself. I call it my magic dress because it makes me feel good every time I wear it. My older sister, 24F, just started going out with someone new. She found the dress while she was over at my house a few nights ago, going through my closet. She asked right away if she could use it for her date. I wasn't sure because I trust her, but she's not very good with clothes. When I told her about the times she sent things back with spots or small tears, she just shrugged and said, "Clothes are meant to be worn, not babies." I told her no, telling her how much the dress meant to me and why I didn't want to give it to her. She got very angry and told me I was being a child and selfish. She said it shouldn't matter if she rented it because I wasn't going to wear it this week. She stormed off and later texted me to say that I made her feel like I didn't trust her and that I cared more about a piece of fabric than her feelings. Even my mom called and told me to say sorry to keep the peace. At the same time, I feel bad because I see her point of view. She just wanted to enjoy her date. I mean, it's not just a piece of fabric to me. Am I a jerk for standing my ground?
You're not an a-hole for standing your ground about something that holds sentimental value to you. Your magic dress represents more than just clothing. It's a symbol of self-confidence and hard work. While it's understandable that your sister might feel hurt, her track record with clothes and dismissive attitude toward your concerns make your decision reasonable. Boundaries are important, especially when it comes to things that matter deeply to you. It's not selfish to protect something you cherish. It's self-respect. And that's a wrap, fine folks. What do you think about these stories? Were the OPs in the right? Or do you see things differently? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more Reddit drama, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, take care and keep being awesome.